Hey everybody. So, I don't know if you can tell from the sound of my voice, but I am under the weather. I've had a head cold for about a week now, and my voice is still kind of shot, so I haven't been able to really get much, work done, singing, practicing and stuff. I've been taking a little bit of a break from that and focusing on some other things. And popped into my head, a coworker of mine this week told me a story. As we were, talking, I have a regular, the 9 to 5 job or whatever. I don't work 9 to 5. I work nights, which really sucks. I've talked about that before. But regardless, the lady that sits next to me, we get to chatting and everything. And she knows that, I'm a singer, and she had watched a video and some things. And, we were talking about voice. And she mentioned, and I hear this from a lot of people, which is why this absolutely just really gets under my skin. I hear from so many people that say, well, I tried to take voice lessons, or I was really interested in singing, and then this happened. So her story is that she wanted to get better at singing. She wanted, she had an interest in it, and she went to a voice teacher. She paid a person that she showed up for a lesson, and this person basically played a note on the piano and said, sing that note. And she could, wasn't on pitch. And then she played another note and said, sing this note. And she tried, and it was not in tune. And then she tried one more note, sing this note. And she, again, didn't sing the right pitch. And the woman looked at her and said, I'm not going to teach you. Come back when you can sing on pitch. And of course, she was taken aback, and she never signed up for voice again. She never sang again. It just was embarrassing, and she just gave up. Now, here's the thing. I hear stories like this. As a voice teacher, people come in and, to work with me, and they're always a little nervous. Everybody gets a little nervous when you have your first lesson and everything. And so many times when I'm working with people, I hear these stories that just are heartbreaking, that they were young or even an adult, doesn't really matter. They go to see someone, and this person just breaks them in some kind of way, makes them feel inadequate, makes them feel stupid. Going in and being vulnerable in that way when you're doing a lesson in anything, but particularly I find that this happens in voice because it is a very personal thing. Your instrument is part of your body, so there's a little bit of a difference there. Whereas, with piano, it's a little bit outside yourself, and other instruments, but still, it goes across the board. You're in a vulnerable place. And the feedback that you get in that moment is so incredibly important to either build you up and help you and believe in your abilities and work through issues, or it can devastate you, and then you just walk away and you never do anything with it again. And in this situation, that is what happened. I had a bad experience. I've talked about it in one of my previous videos, where my father was particularly harsh when I was a child, and I just let it get into my head for years and years and years and years. And it took me a long time to overcome that, because I did have a passion to sing. It was just part of who I am. And that roadblock really kind of kept me from being able, I was very shy and so forth. Here's the deal. First of all, if you encounter a teacher like that, you're not the problem. That's a teacher. That person is supposed to be able to teach you. And if they are failing to do that, that means that they're a lousy teacher. Plain and simple. If you go to someone and they play a note and they say, sing this note, and you're not on pitch, they should help you learn how to be on pitch. Not everybody just has this amazing ability to just walk in the door and just be able to sing notes as soon as they hear them. Most people struggle with being able to have intonation or work on that skill set. It takes a little bit of practice. It's coordination between the voice, the ear, and there's a lot of mechanics going on there. Not everybody's going to walk in the door and just be able to sing the note that you're playing on the piano. Some people, yes, maybe. But even for those of us that, do this on a regular basis, I got news for you. We sing wrong notes sometimes. sometimes things don't go the way they're supposed to, and we sing the pitch a little bit off. Now, the goal is to work that out so that that doesn't happen, and you want to get, lined up so that you are singing in key. Now, some people aren't aware that they're not singing. People call this tone deaf. I don't like using that term because it gives this connotation that it's some sort of medical thing that, well, I'm tone deaf. No, you just haven't learned how to coordinate and line those things up. Now, I'm sure there are specific cases where there's literally a neurological thing that happens between the ear and the mechanism and it doesn't line up. But that is so incredibly rare that I have never encountered it. I have not yet, at this point in time, not been able to help teach someone to sing on key. I get people all the time that come in and say, I'm tone deaf. And I'm like, well, let's fix that. So if you've encountered a situation where someone has just not been able to or not willing to help you learn how to do that, well, then move on. There are other people that can, and do not take that personally because it is a failing on that teacher's part. Now, as teachers, I could see a scenario where you have a teacher who primarily teaches intermediate and advanced students, and maybe they're not wanting to take on a beginner student. Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair. I understand that. You encounter that, you have someone that comes to you and they're at a level that, you're above teaching that level. Okay, gently let them know that you are an intermediate. But before you do the lesson, honestly, you should be doing this. You shouldn't have the person come in to begin with if that's going to be the case. But if, for whatever reason, you encounter someone, don't make them feel bad because they haven't learned a skill set yet, because they're a beginner. What you would want to do is offer them, maybe you have colleagues that take beginning singers. So as a teacher, most, have colleagues or people in their circle that they could maybe, say, hey, I've got this person over here and they, are taking beginning students. I think this person would work really well with you. And then at some point down the road, when you get into more intermediate and advanced, repertoire, then I'd be glad, if you wanted to come back and see me. That's a professional way to handle a situation like that if you don't want to take on beginning singers. Now, me personally, that's one of the things that I love to do. I love to be able to introduce people to music, help them overcome issues, get their feet underneath them, build their confidence, help them with things like stage fright and getting, over that self-consciousness that happens when learning a new skill set, particularly with singing. And of course, I love, advanced and all of that as well. But I find it's very satisfying to take someone who has a passion and just needs that extra help. So, teachers, don't be jerks. I mean, you love what you do. You love singing. Share that with people. Help cultivate that. Help build that with your students and the people around you. I encounter too many times, I've worked with some great people, some very humble and amazing, wonderful people, but I have encountered people that are just so full of themselves and they hold themselves on this pedestal, and it's like they're competing with everyone around them and trying to have this status or whatever, and it really hurts the community. I feel like, when we're talking about, well, any kind of music, whether it be classical music, bel canto, opera, or we're talking about the rock scene. Be confident in what you do, but appreciate your colleagues. Appreciate the talent that the other people have around you. Stop competing with each other on every level. Support each other. We need that. I could go on a soapbox for days and days and days about stuff like this. But this particular story just really hit me, and it stuck with me for days. I could not get it out of my head because I absolutely abhor this kind of behavior. If you've encountered this, I'm so sorry. Please try again. Reach out to me if you're local in the area. I will work with anyone that wants to work with me. Please don't let a bad experience like that at whatever age keep you from doing something that you really want to do or you want to get better at. Maybe your goal is just to go sing your favorite song at karaoke, but you're just nervous and you don't know, getting up there and everything, and you talk to me, message me, send me a DM. I would be glad to help in any way that I can. And you can sing in tune. If you think you can't, you're wrong. I will absolutely prove it every time. And if I ever encounter that situation that I was talking about before, I'll let you know. But so far, it hasn't been a thing. Well, that's all I got for now. And love all of you. Got more content coming soon. And stay spooky, my friends.